Thank you. Hello, I'm going to briefly speak on some of the implications of food waste in America. Now, one of the most obvious that occurs is the squandering of resources. Researchers estimate that Americans waste about 40% of our food. So for an average family of four, that's between $1,300 and $2,200 per year. Or for America as a total, $160 billion annually. Now, it's not just finances that get wasted when we waste food. There's things called embedded resources that also get squandered, primarily water and oil. The water is for irrigating and raising livestock, and the oil is primarily for transporting and processing goods. For example, to procure and raise 1 pound of beef necessitates 1,800 gallons of water for the cow to drink and to irrigate the grain that the cow will eventually eat, everything like that. Now, another major implication that has to do with food waste in America is the environmental impact. 1/5 of our waste stream that gets landfilled is food waste, and that will produce greenhouse gases during anaerobic decomposition in the landfill. And landfills are the number 2 source of human-related methane emissions. So methane is about 20 times more potent of a greenhouse gas than CO2 is, but they both will take their toll in the atmosphere over time. Now, the last implication may not have to do directly with the food, energy, water nexus, but is the moral or ethical question or implication that has to do with our food waste. With 15% of homes in America not having a steady supply of food, it just raises questions about the morality of constantly wasting food. And I'm not saying anybody wants the scraps on the side of your plate, but we could get in the habit of preparing less food over time and then perhaps donating what we didn't use, the unprepared food that we would have prepared in our old habits. So these are just some of the implications of food waste in America, and hopefully we can reduce food waste over the years. Thank you.
You see, one of the coolest things about my job as an engineer is I get to learn how to do things such as recycling, composting, and basically minimize the kind of stuff that we put in landfills and be able to reuse it into the environment. So here's what we're going to do. I actually have at my work, if you see behind me here, I have a special trash can just for my work. This is the Orlando Waste Paper Company. Now we can see here that there are certain things that we can't have. We cannot have garbage, hazardous waste, medical waste, yard waste. And pretty much the idea for Orlando is they really want to help recycle. That's one of the basic things that we can do to help minimize waste in the United States and around the world. Another cool thing would be something just as simple as the grass. I'm going to give you one more quick yard tip that will help you to be able to preserve any food and food scraps that you have in your house. Now, the groundwater table here in Florida is very shallow. You hit ground pretty much about 3 to 4 feet down, you'll hit water. So what you really want to do is when you want to compost anything that you've eaten, if you have peanut shells, if you have apple slices, anything like that, what you want to do is you want to dig a nice little pit. You want to get a piece of clear plastic that you can actually put over it to help heat all of the waste that you're putting in. So you dig a big hole, you fill it with organics, and then you cover it with the plastic. During the day, the sun heats it up, and when you add just a little bit of water, what ends up happening is you get a nice composting, and if you have a garden such as myself at home, you can use it for beautiful compost that'll really help your plants grow and provide more food for your house. Thanks for watching, guys.
Food waste accounted for 14.5% of total municipal solid waste generation in 2012, according to the EPA. This might seem like a small percentage, but in reality, it's 35 million tons of food waste generated in one calendar year. Here are some steps to reduce food waste generation. Eat the food you have instead of eating the food you recently bought. Take notice of what you do throw away. Understand why you throw it away, and buy less of it. And most importantly, eat all of your leftovers. And when you aren't home, you should definitely consider eating out less. You save money, and you don't overeat, and you don't develop bad eating habits. But when you are at a restaurant, only order what you can finish. If you can't generate less food waste, make a conscious effort to donate to food banks, learn how to compost, and learn about recycling programs in your area. Remember, let's feed people, not landfills.